Matt Jarecki here tonight, filling in for Joey Kieran as we got Roseburg versus Crater. Game number 3 of the season for the Roseburg Indians. And so far, it's been an 0-2 start for Roseburg. Hello and welcome to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Matt Jarecki with you this afternoon. And yesterday, it was Joey and I on the broadcast. Joey, well, he has other duties. And so, just me here tonight, hoping for a change in finishing. That's the big story coming into this one against Crater. It's been a busy week. Third game of the week. First game was on Wednesday against McMinnville, opener of the season. And ultimately, it was a loss for the Indians. Couldn't come out with a victory against McMinnville. Scored 48 points, lost 61-48. Yesterday, though, a little bit of an improvement. Scored 61 points in the loss versus South Salem. And ultimately, it was a game for Roseburg that they were in up until about the final 4 seconds of the third quarter. And then after that, it went all South Salem's way. The Saxons finished the game on a 23-5 run after they hit a buzzer beater at the end of the third quarter. It was a three-pointer to stretch the lead from 4 points to 7 points after that point. The entire fourth quarter domination for the Saxons. And really for Roseburg, it was running out of steam. That was something that happened in the game yesterday. Obviously, with the short amount of time from Wednesday to Friday, there's that played into it, but also South Salem utilized 10 different players on the floor. Roseburg, just about 7. And Coach Humphreys, he talked about it a little bit later, which we'll have on the pregame conversation with Coach Humphreys. But they're looking to rotate about 7 to 8 guys throughout the game, and that's the game plan going into this one against Crater. But yesterday, it was about 7 guys in the rotation. And by the end of the game, it was a lot of tired players out there on the field. Owen Bentia, though, he had a phenomenal effort. 30 total points, 7 rebounds, just had 1 assist. It was a career high for him, season high as well. Had 26 points in the opener and then 30 points in this last game against South Salem. He's been scoring a lot, and I asked Coach about that later on, and you'll hear it in the pregame conversation, but he's looking for him to improve upon many different areas outside of just being they score. I mean, he has been the primary scorer so far to start this season for Roseburg, and that was something that was expected a little bit coming into the year. He was an honorable mention All-Southwest Conference from a year ago, so you knew that in his senior year he was probably going to be taking on a bigger role, especially with the loss of Micah Mendoza, who has had a phenomenal start this season at Lynn Benton Community College. Last we looked yesterday, he was averaging 18.2 points per game through the first couple of weeks at Lynn Benton Community College. Mendoza last year for Roseburg averaged 20 points per game. He was one of the 3 of the top 4 scorers that the Roseburg Indians lost at graduation from a year ago. But Bentia was back, and so Bentia off to a good start in terms of scoring the basketball. I'm sure that Coach wants him to facilitate a little bit more and pass the ball a little bit more. Just 1 assist in the game yesterday. The Indians did get a couple of other contributors in the game, including Landon Fanigal. Fanigal, he had 11 points and 7 rebounds in the losing effort for Roseburg. He was the second highest leading scorer. He only went 2 of 3 from the field, but he went 6 for 6 at the free throw line, something that was a breath of fresh air for Roseburg. In fact, yesterday, it was the Indians shooting just 59% from the foul stripe. And I asked Coach about that a little bit earlier, and you'll hear it again in the pregame interview that we'll air coming up. But it's one of those areas where, you know, it could go 19 for 32 in a game, but it could also go 27 of 32. It's all about the mental aspect with free throws, and we'll see what happens here tonight. Now, last year when these two teams met, it was an absolutely electric game. These two teams met down at Crater High School in Central Point last season, and man, it was a phenomenal effort. It was a 55-54 win for Crater over Roseburg, and it went down to the wire. Crater outscored Roseburg 11-2 over the final 4 minutes and 11 seconds to take the lead and win the game 55-54. Julian Grant gave the Comets the lead with a pair of free throws with 1:50 to go. For their first lead of the game after it was 2-0 Crater to start, Roseburg came back, led for a majority of the game. Grant gave the Comets the lead with a pair of free throws. After Roseburg took the lead back with 1:37, The Indians remained ahead of the Comets as the clock ticked down to just 20 seconds to play, but with the Indians on offense and an ill-advised pass, the Comets were able to take the lead after Ben Higginson stole away the ball from Roseburg, went all the way down the floor and was able to lay it in to give the Comets the lead, 55-54. The Indians, they didn't even get a final shot off at the very end. A lot of miscommunication, passes going the wrong way, and ultimately the ball was on the floor and the Indians couldn't get the final shot off. Exciting game last year between these two schools, and we'll see if this year lives up to the hype. Kyle Biddle, he's going to be coming back now, first team All Mountain West League a year ago for Crater, and he was certainly someone that Coach pointed out yesterday in the post-game interview. And how could he not? He's 6'5", he's a guard forward. He's kind of what Coach described as their Owen Bentia. That's exactly what he is. He is a player that can score quite a bit. Against South Medford in the Comets win earlier this week on Wednesday, he scored 16 total points for the Crater Comets, and that was a big game for them. They seized control during the third quarter and starved off a frantic comeback by South Medford for a 54-51 win Wednesday night. The Comets trailed by 5 points at the halftime break, but outscored the Panthers 11-2 right after the break to take the lead for good, and they were able to hang on for the remainder of the game. They got off to a nail-biting start in the game that included a combined 41 fouls and 31 turnovers. I mean, that's exactly what you'd expect for a start of a season opener. 41 fouls and 31 turnovers. It wasn't the cleanest game between South Medford and Crater, but Crater, the smaller school, in Central Point, the 5A school, getting the better of South Medford, the 6A school, to start the season. Now they get an opportunity again against another 6A school, the Roseburg Indians. Crater, though, a very impressive program, 1-0. Coming off a 19-6 season a year ago. They were 9-3 in Mountain West League play. They finished third in their league, and they made it to the postseason, one of the three teams that qualified out of the Midwest League. And ultimately, they lost 59-55 versus Mountain View in the first round. They were the third best scoring team in the Midwestern League, and ultimately they also had the best scoring defense in the Midwestern League as well. They had one All-Midwestern League selection. It was Kyle Biddle came back for this season. The senior, we'll see where he's heading to college. His brother, Nate Biddle, of course, the Oregon Ducks center, had an impressive career at Crater and then went down and played a prolific prep in Napa, California, before becoming a 5-star recruit and ultimately committing to the University of Oregon, where he currently plays for the Oregon Ducks. The younger Biddle, not as tall as Nate. Nate's about 7 feet. Kyle Biddle just 6'5". Nonetheless, a very impressive basketball player, one of the best, if not the best, in Southern Oregon. Fun matchup coming up. Roseburg 0-2 this season, and Crater 1-0 on the season. We'll take a 2-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. When we return, we'll have that pre-game interview with Coach Humphreys of the Roseburg Indians here on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Can't move a muscle? Make a move to Centennial Orthopedics and Podiatry for muscle, joint, and bone care for the entire family. Whether for ankle or foot, hand and wrist, shoulder and elbow, hip and knee, or sports injuries, our specialty-trained doctors can help you get moving. Get the safe, comfortable orthopedic care you deserve right here in Douglas County. It's your move. Call 541-229-2663 or visit centennialorthopodiatry.com today.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's Lunch and Salad Bar the way it ought to be.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Jarecki here with Coach Humphreys ahead of this game against Okay. Welcome back to Stewart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, trying to get the pregame interview. Coach Humphreys ahead of this game against Crater. Coach, yesterday obviously a loss, but you've had a little less than 24 hours to kind of process it. What were your main takeaways when you looked back and looked at that game yesterday?
Well, I mean, we kind of talked about it at the end of the game. Guys got tagged, got a little gassed, and the more we get some of those other guys in, the more they keep earning minutes and, producing out there on the court, not making mistakes and giving us what we need to get other guys rest. And they're going to keep earning more minutes and gaining some trust in them and from their teammates and gaining confidence. And hopefully, as they get more minutes, they get more confident and are able to spell, some of our starters, and we get a little bit deeper bench. And so, look to see those guys get some more minutes tonight so that we can not be so tired in the fourth.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the exhaustion that the team felt maybe towards the end of that game. What's the energy like around the club right now? I know 3 games in the last 5 days or so since Wednesday. Just kind of what's the energy like?
Energy's good. We talk ever since day one of tryouts. I put up on the scoreboard where the team names are, the process, and we just keep talking about the process and how, it's gonna take a while to get everybody on the same page. We got a group of guys that haven't all played together, and guys that haven't played varsity minutes, and it doesn't just happen overnight because you want it. Everybody wants to win, right? And it's hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Mm-hmm. And so the guys are still positive and seeing the growth from Wednesday to last night, and realize, man, if we would have played like we did last night on Wednesday, we probably would have won on Wednesday. And then, same thing, hoping for growth from last night to tonight. And if we play as hard as we did last night, tonight, then we're going to give ourselves a pretty good chance to be in a good position at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, you guys got to the line a lot. Not necessarily the most successful at the free throw line, shooting just a little over 50%. How big of an emphasis was that heading into this game against Crater?
Those are things we don't talk about too much. Free throws are so mental. Guys can step to the line with no pressure in an empty gym and make 80, 90 free throws and out of 100. And once you get out there, if you're talking about it and they're thinking about it, then sometimes that can be a hindrance. So I don't really talk about it that much. We'll spend some more time in practice working on them. Making sure we're tired before we shoot them at the end of practice, that kind of stuff. But free throws are, in my opinion, a lot of mental.
Mm-hmm. The last game, it seemed like you guys utilized about 7 players on the floor. Is that kind of the game plan moving forward? Or are you hoping to get more guys involved off the bench?
We still got an injury, but 7 to 8 is a really good rotation. It's easy to to keep guys fresh, and everybody gets kind of in a routine and a rhythm. And 7 to 8, possibly 9, but I like 7 to 8. And then if guys put in the work and earn it, and then we'll go deeper if we need to, and if they own it.
Mm-hmm. Owen's had a phenomenal start to the season so far, 30 points yesterday just for him. What's his growth been like as a player as you've coached him throughout his career, and how's he taken kind of a leadership role this year as a senior?
Well, his growth, a lot is just his commitment to the game, right? He puts a lot of time in the summer, a lot of time on his own, getting shots up all year round, playing on travel teams. He's super coachable. and so a lot of that just comes from his commitment to the game and commitment to the program. He's had success point-wise in the first couple games. We want to see some growth in some other areas that we talk about, and not just him, but lots of guys on the team. And he, he knows he needs to improve on some things. We talk about it after every game. Hey, what'd you see? What are you seeing when you're out there, and what's going to help us be the most successful as a team? Because obviously he's our leading scorer and probably going to continue to be. But it's not if he goes out and scores 30 every game and we lose every game, is that success? Probably not. I don't think very many people, including Owen, would describe that as success. And so he knows, he's got some improvements to do and wants to improve. And he knows what's going to be best for the team. And it's sometimes tough to break bad habits. And when you're playing some AAU ball type stuff, then they encourage that a lot. And it's a little bit different than in the season. And so we'll continue to work on that, and hopefully we see that growth, and as we see that growth, then we're gonna, hopefully have more success.
Yesterday during the post-game interview, when we were talking about Crater, you singled out Kyle Biddle. What have you seen from him on tape, and how are you going to try to prepare to face off against a player of his caliber?
I mean, he's been good every year he's been there. I don't know what he had on us last year. But yeah, he's the Owen. He's the Owen, right? And so you can game plan for him and try to run some schemes for him. But we're not gonna change a whole lot. We're gonna he doesn't spend a lot of time in the post, even though he's a big guy. He likes to attack from the perimeter, and we're gonna be physical with him. Try to keep him off the boards and get him out of his comfort zone.
What's the X factor heading into this game? What's gonna be what results in success for you guys? What are you guys gonna have to do if you're gonna have to pull out this victory?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I mean, success is going to be growth from last night. We sat down and talked as a team and individually and talked about what they each need to do to get better tonight from last night. And hopefully we can go out and make those adjustments, be coachable. It's tough with no practice in between for kids to go out and make an adjustment from one game to the next game without getting to practice it. And but we got a group of guys that are pretty coachable, and they think the game pretty well. So I think we'll be able to do that, and hopefully we see guys making the extra pass tonight. And running, I think our offense will be a little bit easier to run tonight because they're not going to be near as physical as last night. Like you said, we got to the line a lot because of how physical they were, and it kept us from being able to run our offense and do what we wanted to do. And Crater's not going to be as physical, so hopefully we can execute offensively a little bit better tonight.
Good luck tonight, Coach. Appreciate it.
So that was Coach Jordan Humphreys ahead of this game against Crater. Well, about 2 minutes to go until the national anthem. Again, Roseburg 0-2 on the season. Crater 1-0 to start. Crater picking up a win on Wednesday against South Medford. Roseburg, it was a loss yesterday, 83-61 against the South Salem Saxons. Chance to respond here today for the Tribe. This one, and again, last year it was a nail-biter down to the wire at the very end of the game. It was Crater coming away with a steal and pulling off the victory against Roseburg for a 55-54 win down in Central Point. Just got the starting lineups for today, and let's go ahead and start with the starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians. Jaron Leeworthy going to get the start once again with Landon Finnegow. Harrison Scott going to be one of the starters, the junior, 5'10", with Owen Bentia back in the starting lineup, and then Caden Luther rounds out the starting lineup. Same starting lineup that the Indians have had in each of their first 2 games of the season. So it's the same starting 5, 1, 2, 3, 12, and 33 for Roseburg. On the other side for the Crater Comets, starting the game is going to be Elijah Bryant, the senior 6'5" guard/forward for Crater. Ben Higginson, the guard that had the steal and the go-ahead bucket a year ago for the Comets. He's back. He was also the starting quarterback for Crater. Roseburg able to pull off the victory earlier this year against Crater on the gridiron. Now Higginson looks to get revenge against the Tribe here tonight on the hardwood. Kyle Biddle, the star on this Crater Comets team. He gets the start, first team All-Midwestern League a year ago, the 6'5" forward. Again, the start, the senior for Crater. Julian Grant, also going to be a starter, honorable mention, All-Midwest League a year ago, the junior 6'1" guard. That's the start with Malachi Barlow as well. Barlow, a sophomore, 6'1" guard. So those are the starting lineups for each team ahead of this matchup. Getting ready for the national anthem here, but Crater, a team with 5 seniors and 4 underclassmen with 10 players on their roster. See how this one plays out. Roseburg versus Crater. National anthem about to begin, so we'll take a 2-minute timeout. Don't go anywhere. Here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Hold on to your taste buds because the heat is on. Introducing Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. Our spicy hot nuts are handcrafted with fresh made dough, spicy jalapenos, creamy garlic sauce, and melty cheese all wrapped and ready to enjoy. And for limited time, they're just $5.99. Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. They're the perfect spicy side to go with your next pizza order. Order online or on our app for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Welcome back here to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Nate Jarecki with you this afternoon. Crater versus Roseburg here tonight. The Roseburg Indians looking for their first victory of the year. Crater looking to improve upon their season and move to 2-0. Crater going to be wearing black jerseys today, black pants, orange numbers with Crater written across the chest. Roseburg, the white jerseys with orange numbers listed across the chest. Bentia in the circle, along with Elijah Bryant. Opening tip is won by Crater. And we'll start here with Crater basketball going from right to left. At the top is Bryant. Dribbles towards the left of the arc and now kicks it to the right wing. Here's Julian Grant. Back to the top for Ben Higginson. He swings it to the left wing. Three-pointer from Barlow goes in. And Crater takes the lead here in quarter number 1. So Crater off to a strong start after picking up that victory against South Medford on Wednesday. 3-0. It's Crater with the lead down low. Here's Leeworthy backing into the paint. Tried to pass it, and it's taken away. Up the floor, almost a dunk, but a lay-in from Julian Grant, and it's now 5-0. Crater on top. And a whistle on the far side. Looking to inbound it in was the Indians. Going to stay here with Roseburg. 5-0 the score, 7:15 to play here in the first quarter. Here's Landon Fanigow. Hands it off on the right wing. Leeworthy swings it to the top. Harrison Scott jabs, now dribbles inside the arc, kicks it to the far corner. Three-pointer from Leeworthy off the front iron. Biddle the rebound. He throws it up the floor. Barlow inside the arc, hands it off. Biddle pump fakes. In the near corner, he throws it down low. Bryant is fouled. Looks like they're going to get Leeworthy with the whistle. Rather, it's going to be Harrison Scott. So Scott called with the foul, his first team foul. 6:48 to go. First quarter, throw in. Here's Elijah Bryant, drops it down low, and it's taken away. It's a steal now for Caden Luther. Throws it up the floor. Bentia in the paint. Gives it back to the top. Fanigal calls for a screen, doesn't get one, and they'll reset. 25 on the shot clock. He hands it off to Leeworthy in the right arc. Dribbles between his legs a couple of times. Christensen crosses, and then drops it off for Harrison Scott. Goes down into the paint. Down low, Fanigal goes between two defenders and lays it up and in. Indians get on the board with 6:17 to play here in the first quarter, and it's 5-2. Julian Grant dribbling with it, the honorable mention Mid-Wesley player a year ago. To the right elbow, Bryant backs his way in, goes up with the right hand, off to the right. Rebound up the floor for Fanigal. Tosses it up for Bentia. Down the left alley, he lays it in, and it's 5-4. Owen Bentia gets his first bucket of the game. Opening quarter, Crater going right to left. Right wing three-pointer. Barlow swishes it. Another three-pointer for the Comets. 8-4. Up the floor, Roseburg quickly moving it. Shot no good off the glass from Leeworthy. Got his own rebound. Second attempt, no good. Up the floor, Bryant will bring it after the board. Bryant will pull up from the top, off to the right. Rebound by Fanigal. 8-4 the score, 5:20 to play, first quarter. Roseburg moving left to right, and a pass away from Fanigal is taken away by Higginson. Higginson a 2-on-1, he keeps it himself, draws contact, and it's going to be a blocking foul on Roseburg. Looking like it's going to be Fanigal.
Foul against Landon Fanigal.
That's his first, so second team foul for Roseburg. 8-4 the score, 5:12 here in the first quarter. At the line is Ben Higginson, who again had that breakaway basket last year to give the Comets the lead over Roseburg, and he makes the first free throw, 9-4. Higginson's second free throw is good, and it's now 10-4. Higginson gets his first 2 points of the game. Left wing, Leeworthy dribbles in on Higginson, goes down the left alley, goes up, gets fouled, and he'll head to the line. Shot no good. With just under 5 minutes to play, Roseburg heading to the line for the first time. So here's Jaron Leeworthy. His dad, the head coach at Umpqua Community College, he stands in at the line, the junior 5'10" basketball player. And he puts in the first free throw. 10-5 the score. Leeworthy dribbles a couple of times, puts up the second free throw, and it's good. 10-6. The Tribe cut it to 4. Up the floor now. On the near side is Julian Grant. Indians running a 2-3 defense. Crater swings it to the left side. Barlow back to the top. They swing it around. Biddle on the right wing. Goes behind the back. Now drops it in the paint. A good pass. Found its way to the near corner. Now left wing three-pointer. Airballed by Barlow. And it's out of bounds after Biddle tried to save it. But his toes out of bounds. At the top, Fanigal is fouled. And the foul's going to go against Julian Grant. So that's his first foul. Indians will take out for the baseline. 10-6 the score. Crater with the lead here in the opening quarter. Fanigal to inbound it. Tosses it to the top, and it's taken away by Biddle. One-on-one with Leeworthy. Goes up with the right hand, and he's able to lay it in. Kyle Biddle gets his first 2 points of the game, and it's 12-6. Pass up the floor, and on a half-court press, there's going to be a whistle. Foul is against Julian Grant. That's his second. That's a big second foul. Grant, the honorable mention All-Midwest League player from a year ago. He gave the Comets the lead initially in that fourth quarter a year ago against Roseburg with a couple of free throws. Bentia gets it in the paint. No good on a teardrop attempt to Biddle the board, and up the floor he tosses it for Julian Grant. Gets to the top. Biddle will pull up for three. Off to the left, off the glass. Fanagal the rebound. He tries to throw it up the floor, and it's tipped out of bounds by Malachi Barlow. Roseburg Basketball on the far sideline. 12-6 the score. 3:47 to play here in the first quarter.
Trey Smith from Crater.
Trey Smith enters the game. So the left wing now, Harrison Scott brings it to the far corner. Now drops it down to the block. Back out for Scott. Far corner three-pointer, no good. Up the floor now. The Comets will bring it. Bryant down the lane, and he's fouled right in the paint. So a whistle. And it's going to be a foul against Fanagal. That's his second. Third team foul for Roseburg. I want to thank one of our sponsors today, DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. So Bryant at the line, misses the first free throw on his first attempt of the game. No points so far for Bryant, the senior. Good size on this Crater team. A lot of players over 6 feet. 5 seniors, 4 underclassmen, and 1 junior. And he makes the second. 7-point game, 13-6 the score, 3:23 to play here in the first quarter. Bentia drops it up to the top at the logo for Leeworthy. Drops it down to the far corner. Going baseline, up and under. Laying is good from Harrison Scott. And the Indians cut it back to 5. 13-8 the score. Biddle on the left wing. Tosses it across the court for Smith. Up to the top. They give it to the near corner. Higginson a three-pointer. Off front iron. Biddle an offensive rebound. Directs traffic. Drops it in the paint. Now to the near corner. Higginson to the top. Smith a three-pointer. Off to the right. Another offensive rebound as Bryant corrals it to the top. Biddle puts up a three-pointer, and he cashes in. Kyle Biddle makes it a 8-point game, 16-8 with his first three-pointer. Up to 5 points in the afternoon. 2:30 to play in the opening quarter. Fanagal gives it over to the right wing. Luther to the top for Scott. Gives it to the left wing now for Fanagal. He tosses it to the near corner for Scott. He drives into the paint, puts up a jumper, and he swishes it through. Harrison Scott up to 4 points, had 4 points yesterday, matching his season high. Biddle at the top, pump fakes. Now gives it to the left wing. Three-pointer no good from Bryant. Up the floor. It's taken away by Bryant after a pad pass by Roseburg. Left wing three-pointer won't go from Barlow. And another turnover by the Indians. Smith on the left wing gets it to the top for Bryant. Back to Smith on the near corner. Goes between his legs, crossing up Bentia. And then he gives it back to Bryant to reset. 25 on the shot clock. 1:40 to play in the first quarter. Barlow at the top. Gives it to the near corner. Biddle puts up a three-pointer, and another three-pointer for Biddle. Now 8 points, and it's a 9-point Crater lead. So 8 of the 19 points for Biddle already. Had 16 points in the opener against South Medford. Been a big second-half player. As now down the middle of the lane was Fanagal, and he double-dribbled. Turnover. So Kyle Biddle, he scored 16 points in the game against South Medford. 9 of the 16 points were in the third quarter. Rather, that was last year against Roseburg. He scored 11 of his 16 points against South Medford in the second half, so heating up to start here in the opening frame. Right wing, Smith gives it to the far corner. Three-pointer from Bryant, no good, short. Bentia, the defensive rebound. 19-10 the score. Tribe brings it left to right, cross the timeline. And now a timeout for Roseburg. So a timeout with 59.7 seconds to go. 19-10 the score. With that, we'll take our first timeout as well. 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's weekday lunch buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
Welcome back to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. 59.7 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And the inbound goes into Bentia. Bentia gives it over to Fanigal on the right side. Up to the top. Three-pointer Bentia. He's able to cash it in. Long three-pointer from Bentia. And it's 19-13. Now Crater with it. Right wing to the far corner. Bryant puts up a three-pointer off the heel. Biddle fights for the rebound. Finds it. 6-point game. Under 30 to play here in the opening frame. Biddle on the near side. Three-pointer off the back of the iron. Rebound by Roseburg. Fanigal has it with 18.5. Throws it up for Bentia and a foul. They're going to get Bentia with a charge. Biddle able to stand in and he draws the foul with 15.6. Bentia whistled with the foul, his first. So Biddle will inbound it with 15.6. It's a 6-point Crater lead here in the first quarter. Left wing to the right wing. Biddle has it. Now goes to the far corner. Higginson, the three-pointer off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Bentia. 4 seconds up the floor. Passes the timeline. Stolen away by Higginson. And a travel, they'll call it, with 1 second to play. So it's going to be Roseburg basketball in plus territory. And they'll take out from the far sideline. Fanigal to inbound it. Fanigal searching, looking for someone, throws it down low at the horn. No good. Luther, an air ball. Got it up though, and that's going to do it after 1 quarter. It is 19-13 the score. Crater with a 6-point lead on the road. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com. And the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with a news review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Welcome back here to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. It is 19-13 the score as we begin quarter number 2. 8 minutes now on the clock. Roseburg to take out to begin. Bentia will bring it up. Roseburg on the offense going left to right. Fanigal at the top gets it down low. Bentia puts it up with the left hand and he's able to get it in to start the second quarter, 19-5. Bentia up to now 7 points as there's a turnover on the other side. 7:40 to play in the second. And again, Roseburg in the game yesterday was doing a good job early on. Competitive through the first 3 quarters. It was the fourth quarter that got away from them. Strong start here today against a good Crater team. Left lane. Searching is Grant, gives it across to the far side. Barlow gets it to the top for Biddle, to the right wing Higginson. He dribbles inside the arc into the paint, gives it to Biddle. Left wing spins, goes up, down baseline. A strong finish for Biddle. as he banks it in, and it's now 21-15. Up to now 10 points and a 6-point lead. Luther has it on the left arc. The big man looking for an option. Hasn't dribbled. Can still dribble. Still holding on to it. Gets it to the top. Fanigal puts up a three-pointer straight away. Too strong. Biddle the rebound. Up the floor, he gives it over to Barlow to Higginson and then back out to the right wing. Grant hands it off to Higginson. Right wing, Grant gets it down to Biddle and a foul. Looks like Fanigal is going to be called with the foul. Make it Leeworthy. That's his first. They get it to the top now. Here's Barlow. He puts up another three-pointer. That's his third of the game. And Crater extends the lead 24-15. The lead is now 9. Largest lead of the night so far for the Comets. Luther kicks it to the top. Cantrell into the game. Gives it to the left wing for Bentia. Gets it down low. Luther fouled. Count the basket and one. Caden Luther gets his first 2 points of the night. Makes it 24-17. Foul going to be on Biddle. That's his first. Luther at the line. Short on the first free throw. Up the floor, the Comets will bring it on the near side. Here's Grant. Gives it to Biddle and a travel. So another travel on Crater, and you can see Brian Scott, the head coach of the Comets. A little bit of disappointment on the bench. 7-point Crater lead. 6 minutes to play, second quarter. Luther at the top, bounces it to Leeworthy. It's taken away. A steal for Elijah Bryant down the far side. Takes it down the right alley. Goes up, gets fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. Going to be a foul on Luther. That's his first. Fifth foul of the half for Roseburg. All fouls have been by a different player. So 5 different players with 1 foul so far. Bryant makes the first free throw, is 0 for 1 on his one attempt in the first quarter, and gets it to go here. 25-17, 5:56 to play in the second quarter. Again, our video stream today brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. No good on the second attempt. Kyle Biddle, an offensive rebound. First try didn't go, but he tips it back up and in. And Biddle's having an impressive first half with 18, and now another basket from Higginson, and a steal, and a contact play on the right side, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Cantrell. So 29-17. And here's Barlow at the line, the sophomore guard. Barlow last year did not play against Roseburg. This is the free throw here. He's at the line. He has 9 points, 3 3-pointers so far in this game as Crater leads by 12 here in the second quarter. Barlow second, rattles in, and he's up to 10. Harrison Scott will dribble it up the floor, down the left lane, kicks it to the far side, to the top three-pointer. Kemmerly can't connect. Out of bounds, Crater basketball with 5:29 to play, going right to left. Biddle inbounds it into Grant, back to Biddle on the near side. The Indians are pressing with a full-court press. They break the press, get it past the timeline. Biddle at the top, gives it to the right wing for Grant. They go into the paint, now to the far corner. Bryant a triple. It splashes through. And it's another three-pointer. First of the night for Bryant, and it's 33-17. Leeworthy on the right wing. Gets it to the top, Ashton Palm into the game, swings it to the left wing for Scott. Tried to go down low. Pass taken away by Biddle. Biddle up the center of the floor to the right wing. Three-pointer from Grant off the backboard, no good. Palm tried to save it from going out of bounds, slamming into the wall, but it goes out of bounds off of Roseburg. 4:47 to play, 33-17. Crater's been able to control here in the first half, expanded upon their lead. Up the middle, right side, no good. And up the floor now, Bentia will bring it. Bentia down the right lane, goes up, he's fouled. He was short on the shot, but he'll go to the line and shoot two. 4:38 to play. And Bentia to the line for two. And one of our sponsors, Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call 541-459-1545. No good on the first free throw from Bentia. And free throws were a struggle in the game yesterday for Roseburg. Got to the line a lot. 31 attempts at the line, just 18 free throws going in for the Tribe. Bentia goes 0 for 2 on this trip to the line. Rebound Crater as they'll bring it up the floor right to left, leading by 16. It's a good Crater team. Senior heavy. Fans here at Robertson Memorial getting a treat tonight. Down the lane to the middle of the paint. To the far side, Biddle pump fakes twice, now drives baseline, Euro step off the backboard, no good. And he'll go to the line. Foul is going to be on Bentia. That's his second. And here's Biddle at the line. So 12 points for Biddle. And Biddle's going to shoot two. First free throw from Biddle. No good. And Biddle, the first team All-Midwestern League player from a year ago, the senior. Brother Nate playing at the University of Oregon. Biddle goes 0 for 2 at the line. Leeworthy the rebound. He'll dribble it up for Roseburg. Goes between the legs a couple of times on Higginson and then backs out to reset. 25 on the shot clock to the left wing. He kicks it to Palm. Passes it to the top. Kemmerly tried to go to Leeworthy, and it's taken away by Higginson down the near side. Goes into the paint, goes up with the right hand off the backboard, too strong. Palm the board. Leeworthy will dribble it up the floor for Roseburg on the far sideline. Crosses through, puts up a floater, and he's able to get it to go. First two-pointer of the game for Jaron Leeworthy, and it's 33-19. Left wing now. Grant down low, got it over to Barlow, and he gets his first two-pointer. Ultimately, though, up to 12 points with 3 3-pointers and a free throw. Timeout going to be called with 3:20 to play. It is 35-19, Crater with the lead. And with the timeout for Roseburg, we'll take a timeout ourselves. 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
No, still no. Welcome back here to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Nat Jarecki with you this afternoon. Roseburg in the white uniforms going left to right. Crater in the black uniforms going right to left. Fanigal on the right wing gives it to the top. And now he dribbles it on the R logo in center court. Palm has it on the right wing now, guarded by Biddle. Looking for an option, tosses it over his head. Gets it across the court to the left wing for Fanigal. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ball on the floor, picked up in the corner by Leeworthy. Dribbles baseline. He's able to lay it in. 35-21 now. Makes it a 14-point game. Biddle dishes it to the near side. Down the middle and laying it up and in is Malachi Barlow. Barlow again. It's been the Barlow and Biddle show. Two of them combining for a lot of points. Combined 5 3-pointers and 5 2-pointers. Left wing, Bentia from Winston. Way off. Up the floor, Higginson will toss it. And the ball knocked out of bounds off of Crater, they say. They say it goes off of Julian Grant on the pass up the floor. 2:07 on the clock, 37-21 the score. Crater with the lead here in the second quarter. Vanagal will slowly dribble it up the floor. He'll slow down. Lost the ball on the logo. And they're going to say a push. They're going to get David Rodriguez, who's in the game now for Crater, with a push. Roseburg will take out from the sideline. Just the third foul of the quarter for Crater. Right wing, Palm. Trying to pass it. It's taken away. Julian Grant left alone. Goes up and dunks it. He slams it down. Crater bench erupts, and it's 39-21. And another turnover off the toes of Bentia after he got it picked away by Julian Grant. All Crater here in the first half. An emphatic effort. Grant at the top. Roseburg switched their defense. It looks like a 1-3-1 defense now. Maybe even man. Right wing. Dribbling is Grant. Gets it to the top for Higginson. To the left wing. Biddle a three-pointer. Splash! Another three-pointer for Crater. It's 42-21. They're doubling up Roseburg. And a foul going to be called on Higginson on the far sideline from Crater.
Trey Smith backing for Crater.
So 42-21, 56.2 seconds remaining here in the first half. Roseburg with the basketball. Left wing. To the top. Now near corner, Scott a three-pointer, and it's going to be a foul on Roseburg. And it's Fanigal with the foul. That's his third. It's his first of the quarter, and looks like he'll have to probably come out. 40.6 on the clock. Humphreys talking things over with the official right now.
Trey Smith at the line.
Trey Smith going to the line. Smith misses the first free throw. Second free throw from Smith. Rattles out. Rebound by Luther. So 42-21 remains the score. Hand off on the left side for Leeworthy to the right wing. Here's Camerly. Drops it down low. Right wing. Blocked. It's Biddle with the block and up the floor. Crater brings it. And a pass down to the paint is knocked out of bounds by Scott. 21.5 on the clock here in the second quarter. Inbounding it is Grant. Gets it to the top. Barlow a three-pointer. No good. Off back iron. Scott will bring it up the floor with 15 seconds to play. Roseburg trailing by 21 with 21 points in the game. Bentia dribbling on the right side. And he'll go up and is fouled on the left wing. Went up with a three-pointer and dropped to the floor. They'll get Malachi Barlow with his first foul. So 3.6 on the clock, 42-21. Bentia at the line. 7 points so far. And it remains 7. Now 0 for 3 at the foul stripe. So Bentia looking to just get another point on the board for Roseburg before the half. Makes it. And they'll give him one more after a lane violation, they'll say, on the first free throw attempt. Bentia makes it through. 42-23. Biddle down the right lane. Buzzer beater. Just a little bit too far. It goes off the back heel of the rim. And that'll do it for the first half. First half in the books, and it's a 42-22 lead for Crater at the halftime break. A lot of basketball and a lot of scoring in that second quarter for Crater as they lead by 20 at the break. Take a 2-minute, 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. And when we return, we'll break down the first half here on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Can't move a muscle? Make a move to Centennial Orthopedics and Podiatry for muscle, joint, and bone care for the entire family. Whether for ankle or foot, hand and wrist, shoulder and elbow, hip and knee, or sports injuries, our specialty trained doctors can help you get moving. Get the safe, comfortable orthopedic care you deserve right here in Douglas County. It's your move. Call 541-229-2663 or visit centennialorthopodiatry.com today.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Welcome back here to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Now, Jarecki, happy to be with you this afternoon. It was a 10-point second quarter for Roseburg after a 13-point first quarter for the Tribe to make it 23 points on the board at the end of the first half. On the other side for Crater, it was 19 points in the first quarter, and then they erupted for even more in the second quarter, scoring a total of 23 points to lead 42-23 at the break. So 23 points in the second quarter for Crater, 23 points in the first half for Roseburg. At the halftime break, Crater with those 42 points. It was an impressive first half for Kyle Biddle as well as Malachi Barlow. Biddle in the second quarter was only able to get 4 points, but in the first quarter he had 8 points, up to 12 overall in the first half. On the other side, Malachi Barlow, he scored a total of 8 points in the second quarter, also 6 points in the first quarter. So 14 total points for Barlow in the first half. So it was really the Biddle and Barlow show. 42 points on the board, 26 of them Biddle and Barlow. Also Elijah Bryant, he had a total of 4 points in the second quarter. Ben Higginson added 2 points in the first quarter. Julian Grant had 2 points in the first quarter as well as 2 points in the second quarter for 4 total points for Crater. Those are the scoring so far. On the other side, for Roseburg, it was Jaron Leeworthy scoring a total of 4 points in quarter number 2, 2 points in quarter number 1 for 6 points at the halftime break. Owen Bentia, he had 2 free throws in the second quarter as well as a 2-pointer for 4 total points in quarter number 2 and 5 points in quarter number 1. For a total of 9 in the first half. So Leeworthy and Bentia combining for 15 of the 23 points for Roseburg. Harrison Scott, whose Aunt Beverly is helping us today, thank you to her for helping us with the camera. He has 4 points, all of them coming in the first quarter. Caden Luther, he did not make his free throw, but he was able to get 2 points in the second quarter. So he has 2 points at the halftime break. And Landon Fanigow, he had 2 points in the first quarter for 2 points in the first half. So that's all the scoring for Roseburg in the first half. Just 23 points. Owen Bentia, just 1 3-pointer. He was able to cash in on 4 in the first half against McMinnville, and then also had an impressive day behind the arc yesterday, but hasn't had it going here tonight against Crater. 42-23, the score at the halftime break. It is Crater in front of Roseburg. About another 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Crater's already coming back on the floor. And at the halftime break, it is a 19-point lead for Crater. They put another point on the board for Roseburg at the very end. So, 42-23 the score at the halftime break. With that, we'll step aside and take another 2-minute break here on 541radio.com and the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Hold on to your taste buds because the heat is on. Introducing Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. Our spicy hot nuts are handcrafted with fresh made dough, spicy jalapenos, creamy garlic sauce, and melty cheese all wrapped and ready to enjoy. And for limited time, they're just $5.99. Mountain Mike's new jalapeno nut nuts. They're the perfect spicy side to go with your next pizza order. Order online or on our app for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Welcome back here to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Now, Jarecki, happy to be with you this evening. Filling in for Joey Kieran. Joey couldn't be here today, just me today. And right now, there's this game going on, but there also is the Oregon Ducks football game happening right now. The Oregon Ducks in the Big Ten Championship against the Penn State Nittany Lions. I'm about to give the score. If you are recording the game and watching this game right now, you can go ahead and pause and maybe even just close your ears for the next 10 seconds. But the Ducks right now in the third quarter currently leading 38-24 against the Penn State Nittany Lions. A really back-and-forth battle. The Ducks have been in front for the majority of it. So that's happening there at the Big Ten Championship game. Here it is 42-23, a 19-point lead at the break. Special thanks again to Beverly, who's helping us here today. Her nephew, Harrison Scott, he's on the Roseburg basketball team, and right before the game, I was supposed to just do camera by myself. We had a basketball player, or at least coach told us that he was going to send a JV player up to do camera for us. He was unable to, and so Beverly stepped in and helped us out, or is helping us out here today, so we really appreciate her. Coming out of the halftime break, Roseburg looking for a better second half. Fresh 8 minutes on the clock. Quarter number 3, Crater leading. And they'll start with the ball. Black uniforms for the Comets, orange numbers and letters. Roseburg white jerseys, white pants, orange letters and numbers on the chest as we get things underway. Crater with the basketball going left to right. Ball batted down of bounds by Bentia on a pass down low to the right block. Going to stay here with Crater. Inbounding it is Higginson. Gets it in to Biddle. Hands it right back to Grant. Now to the right wing. Dribbling down is Barlow to the far corner for Higginson. He swings it to the top for Biddle. Biddle, high elbow, drops it down low, and he's able to find Grant. Julian Grant able to get it to go. So he's now up to 6 points. Roseburg with it on the left side of the floor. Scott at the top, gives it to Fanigal. Now to the near arc. Three-pointer from Bentia won't go. Higginson the rebound. He throws it up the floor. Pass is taken away by Fanigal. And a whistle on the far sideline. And it looks like it's going to be a foul on Barlow. So 44-23, 7:11 to play here in the third quarter. Roseburg basketball. Barlow just a second foul. Not really too many players in foul trouble other than Landon Fanigal, who has 3 fouls for Roseburg. Fanigal dribbling it on the right arc, gets it to the top for Scott, swings it to Bentia, now to the near corner, and it was Leeworthy trying to drive baseline, and instead he was fouled. It's going to be a block on Biddle.
Foul against Kyle Biddle.
Into the near corner, Bentia puts up a three-pointer, and he's able to cash in. Bentia gets the three-pointer, just his second. And a carrying, they'll say, on Biddle. So Biddle was bringing up the floor on the near side and carried it. So turnover with 6:50 to play. Third quarter, Roseburg basketball trailing 44-26. Into the paint, Bentia drops it down low for Luther, and it goes off of his hands out of bounds. So turnover for the Tribe. Roseburg 0-2 on the season, trying to make a monumental comeback. Third game in 4 days. It's a lot of basketball. Into the paint, Bryant gets it to the top for Higginson, to the right wing for Biddle. He's searching for an option, dribbles it down low, goes up with the right hand, fouled, and then he'll go to the line. Foul is going to be on Fanigal. That's his fourth. And immediately Humphreys gets up and grabs Ashton Palm, and he'll check in for Fanigal. So Fanigal with 4 fouls in foul trouble, had 2 points in the first half. Certainly a big loss. Fanigal had 11 points in the game yesterday in the loss against South Salem. Bryant at the top, dribbles down to the right elbow, spins his way into the paint, drops it down low. Beautiful pass as he finds Malachi Barlow as he's able to lay it in, 46-26. Bentia at the top for Roseburg, slowing down the offense. Under 6 minutes to play now here in the third quarter. At the top, Palm gives it to the left wing for Bentia. Jabs a couple of times, now dribbles down the left alley, goes up and finishes off the backboard. Bentia getting going here in quarter number 3, up to 5 points now. Left wing, Grant to the right wing for Biddle. He'll drive baseline, goes to the far corner for Higginson, to the top for Grant. He'll drive down the left alley, goes up with the right hand, and he's fouled underneath the basket. So they're going to get Luther, and it is Luther. That'll put Julian Grant to the line. Again, Grant, just a sophomore. One of the 4 underclassmen on this Crater roster. Passes it back to the official. He'll get it back himself for a free throw. 5:32 to play, third quarter. Free throw up and in. 46-28. Make it 47-28. Luther now on the right wing. Gets it to the top for Leeworthy. He jabs once, gives it over to Luther on the right wing. Now to the top for Palm. Bounces it to Leeworthy. Left wing. Out to the top of the arc. Out of the right wing. Scott a three-pointer, and he splashes it through. Harrison Scott up to 7 points. And it's 47-31. Right wing now for Crater, going left to right. Higginson out to the right wing for Barlow. To the top for Bryant. He'll dribble into the paint. Pump fakes, goes up on the left side of the rim with the right hand, short. Scott the board, up the floor. He'll fling it to Leeworthy. He spins inside the paint, and Trier drops it in. Timeout going to be called for Brian Scott. So Roseburg on a little bit of a run, 47-33. They've cut the lead to 14, and a timeout for Crater. And with that, we'll take a timeout ourselves. 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
47-33 the score here in quarter number 3. The Crater Comets with the lead here at Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Crater going left to right. Biddle with a full court press in front of him. Gets it up the floor. Now he'll bring it himself. Puts up a three-pointer, and he's able to drill it. Another three-pointer for Kyle Biddle. And the Comets extend their lead. It's now 50-33. Biddle, that's his third three-pointer. Now a steal the other way, as it was Luther trying to pass it. Biddle took it himself, and he takes it to the rack. Another two-pointer, up to 8 points off of 4 two-point baskets, plus the 3 three-pointers. On the other side, Bentia puts up a three-pointer from the near corner. No good. Rebound up the floor. Jerry picking was Barlow, and Barlow able to lay it in. Lead's extended 54-33. Now Leeworthy, fade away in the paint, and a whistle. Looked like he got fouled on the shot. And it's going to be a foul on Julian Grant. That's his third. So Jaron Leeworthy at the line. He has 8 points. Leeworthy can't get the first free throw to go. Went off the heel, off the glass, and then off to the left. Leeworthy's second free throw falls through. 54-34. 20-point game here in the second half. Grant dribbled it to the near side and then backs his way to the top, standing on the big giant R logo. Kicks it to the right wing. Barlow down low. Biddle tried to lay it in on an alley-oop. Didn't get it to go, but got his own rebound and laid it in easily. Now up the floor the other way. Luther was wide open on a cherry-picking play, but he couldn't get the lay-in to fall through. 56-34, the whistle on the floor, and they'll just say out of bounds off of Roseburg Crater basketball. So Biddle now up to 7 points here in the second half. 19 points in the game. Grant pulls up from the foul stripe, banks off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound for the Comets. Biddle at the top, thought about a three, did not offer. And now they'll slow it down with Grant once again with 2:50 on the clock, 25 on the shot clock. Guarded by Scott. He'll dribble it from the far side of the floor to the center of the floor and then gives it to Biddle on the left wing. Crosses up a defender. Step back three-pointer. Off to the right. Luther the board. And a timeout going to be called by Coach Humphreys. So a timeout on the floor for Roseburg. 30-second timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout ourselves here on 541radio.com and the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490.
Looking for a great lunch and great value with endless options for everyone? Then hurry over to Mountain Mike's Pizza for our all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. For one low price, you can choose from a variety of signature and specialty hot and delicious pizzas. Then build your own salad your way with a wide selection of fresh vegetables, toppings, and dressings with as little or as much as you want. Mountain Mike's Weekday Lunch Buffet. It's lunch and salad bar the way it ought to be.
Welcome back to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. 2:34 to play in the third quarter, and a little bit of clarification. They counted the last basket on the turnover that I thought was Roseburg out of bounds. Instead, they're going to say it's goaltending, and so 2 points goes to Caden Luther. I believe it goes to Luther. He was the one that put up the shot in the last shot attempt. 56-36 the score, though, here in the third quarter. And Bentia to inbound it for the Roseburg Indians after the timeout by Coach Humphreys. Indians have 4 timeouts remaining. And now a steal up the floor for Crater. It's Barlow taking it from Leeworthy, and he takes it one-on-one off the glass up and in. And the lead's extended now 58-36, 22-point lead. Largest lead of the night. Scott at the top, dribbling it, getting the offense in motion, right wing, and Bentia was almost bent over. And Higginson. And he's going to come out. Elijah Bryant back into the game. Trey Smith in as well. Scott to inbound it. Fresh 35 on the clock after the foul. Right wing, no good on the shot from the elbow. Luther trying to save it, and he does. He jumps up, throws it off of Biddle, and it's going to go out of bounds. Roseburg basketball on the baseline with 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. They inbound it into Leeworthy on the right wing. Goes down the right alley and laid it in over 2 defenders. A nice play by Jaron Leeworthy, who's having a solid night for Roseburg. Up to over 10 points in this one. Smith, a three-pointer on the far corner, no good from Crater. And it goes out of bounds off of Scott. Going to stay here with the Comets. 1:43 to play in the third quarter. Now it's Barlow to inbound it, gets it to the top for Bryant. Hands it off to Barlow on the right wing. Crosses between the legs back to the top. Bryant gets a screen to his left from Biddle. Picks up the dribble and drops it off for Rodriguez. David Rodriguez, the smallest player on the floor for Crater, 5'7". Kicks it to the right wing. Barlow guarded by Palm to the top. Bryant dribbles into the paint. Picks up the dribble. Got it poked away from Bentia. Biddle, fade away, near corner, two-pointer, no good. And it's rebounded by Leeworthy. Up the floor here. Roseburg trying to move with some pace, and a pass goes right into the bench. Looks like it was Scott trying to find a teammate, and he found a teammate. It was just a teammate on the bench. I'm going to say, actually, it was tipped off of Crater, so it's going to stay here with Roseburg. Cantrell to inbound it, gets it in for Leeworthy, to the top for Luther. To the far corner, Bentia. Crosses, and a foul on the floor. It's going to be Barlow, that's his third. So Barlow and Grant both with 3 fouls for Crater. .20 game. Bentia at the line. 2 for 4 so far, and misses this one. Now 2 for 5 at the foul stripe today. And the third game in 4 days for the Indians. Bentia splashes through. Now 3 for 6 at the line as he'll check out with 1:01 to play. Get an extra minute of rest before the third quarter break. Full court press. Crater able to beat it. Smith to the near corner. Bryant goes into the paint. Layup on an alley-oop from Rodriguez as he gets 2 points for his first 2 points of the game. Back to a 21-point game. Now 60-39. Luther to the top for Cantrell. Jabs. Goes into the paint. Back to the top for Luther to the left wing. Tristan Frabel into the game. Shoots a three-pointer off the backboard. Offensive rebound, and Luther lays it in. He's now up to 6 points in the game. 4 points here in the second half. Throw up the floor. Trying to get it to Biddle. Goes off his left hand and out of bounds. An adventurous pass. It couldn't go in. 60-41. Crater with the lead. 15 seconds to play in the third quarter. Frabel. 1-on-1 at the top. Tried to pass it over to Palm and goes out of bounds on the near sideline. Cantrell to inbound it with 9 seconds. Gets to the top for Frabel. Trying to pass it to Leeworthy. It's poked away. Finds it in the corner. 5 seconds. Dribbles into the paint. Puts up a floater. It's short. Luther gets the board. Pulls up from the elbow and banks it off the glass. No good. And that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. 60-41 the score. It's Crater leading here in the second half. 19-point lead for the Comets. End of 3. We'll take a 1-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Move a muscle? Make a move to Centennial Orthopedics and Podiatry for muscle, joint, and bone care for the entire family. Whether for ankle or foot, hand and wrist, shoulder and elbow, hip and knee, or sports injuries, our specialty-trained doctors can help you get moving. Get the safe, comfortable orthopedic care you deserve right here in Douglas County. It's your move. Call 541-229-2663 or visit centennialorthopodiatry.com today.
It's time to get your game on with Mountain Mike's oven-roasted chicken wings. They're meaty, juicy, in 4 bold sauces ready to tempt your taste buds. And they're hand-sauced and tossed for every order. It's game on with Mountain Mike's Pizza oven-roasted chicken wings. Get your wings today. Order online or on our app for carryout or delivery.
Welcome back here to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. 60-41 the score. As we begin the fourth quarter, Roseburg with the basketball going right to left. At the top, it's now Fanigal, who has 4 fouls. He's into the game. Fanigal down the left lane, drops it down low, and laying it in is Cantrell. He gets 2 points here in the fourth quarter. 60-43, lead down to 17. Into the paint on the right block is Bryant, and he's fouled, it looks like. We'll see who the foul's on. It's going to be on Leeworthy. So Leeworthy called for the foul. Now, Crater with the basketball after the inbound. Bryant takes it himself down the baseline, and he lays it up and in. Elijah Bryant gets his first 2 points of the second half. 62-43. Crater with the lead here in the fourth quarter. Emerly dribbles down the right lane on Biddle to the far corner. Leeworthy three-pointer rattles out. Biddle the board, and he quickly brings it up the floor. Left to right, goes behind the back, down with the left hand, and he lays it in. Kyle Biddle. A little bit of magic in the midcourt. He's having himself a game. 64-43. Left wing. Up to the top for Leeworthy. Right wing now for Fanigal. Fanigal jabs. Cuts inside the arc. Backs out to the top. Leeworthy. He'll dribble into the paint down the left alley, and he's blocked. Rodriguez will bring it up the floor for Crater. The right wing, Bryant, and then up to the top. Julian Grant. Dribbles between his legs and then gives it over to Smith. To the top, Grant down the right lane. Only took one step, and he took up a lot of ground. Missed the shot. Got his own rebound in the paint. Gets it to the near corner for Biddle. Fresh 35 on the clock. Biddle thought about a step back three. Instead, he'll give it to the top to Grant to kill more clock. Gives it back to Biddle. Left wing to the near corner. Smith a three-pointer. Can't connect off the heel. Bryant will get it, and they'll reset with 5:40 to go. He'll go down the right lane, and he's going to pick up a charge as Cantrell stands in. That's Bryant's just first foul. So 64-43, 5:40 to play here in the fourth quarter. Roseburg taking their time. Fanigal with the 4 fouls. Bounces it over now to Bentia. Bentia takes a dribble, hands it off to Fanigal. Jabs, now kicks it over to Kemmerly. Kemmerly down low. Beautiful pass to Bentia, who lays it up and in. Oh, and Bentia able to get a couple of more points. Up to over 15 now in this game. Steal by Roseburg on the other side. Up the floor. Down low in the paint. Fanigal spins around and lays it up and in. 64-47. Into the far corner. Biddle takes a dribble and gets it up to the front court. Julian Grant dribbling with it. Under 4:40 now. Rodriguez to the top. Now to the left wing. Smith pump fakes, dribbles inside the arc, back to the top. Dribble down the right lane. Grant takes it to the rack and lays it in. Grant once again. And it's now 66-47. Up the floor. Beautiful pass by Fanigal, able to feed it behind his back around a defender who got it to Kemmerly for 2 points. 66-49. It was a competitive third quarter, each team scoring 18 points. Feels like it's been the same story here in the fourth. It's been a strong second half. It's really just been the second quarter where the Indians were outscored 23-10. Going to be a foul on Roseburg. Not sure who the foul was on. with 4:02 to play. A couple of substitutions for both sides. They get it to the top from Biddle, for Biddle, I should say. Dribbles to the right wing, goes between the legs a couple of times, gets to the top. Grant down the right lane, back to the top. Smith puts up a three-pointer, off to the right. Grant on the floor, and Fanigal the rebound. Grant gets up, forces an erratic pass, and it's taken away by Barlow. To the far corner, Grant, three-pointer short. Rebound offensive to Crater. 3:35 to play. Right wing, Smith, left alone, three-pointer, bang. Trey Smith, a three-pointer. And a timeout going to be used by Roseburg. 3:28 to play. Timeout on the floor, and we'll take a timeout ourselves. 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and The Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Welcome back to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. 69-49, the current score. Crater leading by 20. Up the floor, Tristan Frabel, the sophomore, will give it to the right wing for Luther. Luther inside the arc, gets it to the top for Scott, swings it over to Frabel. Frabel, a little bit more action here tonight, gets to Ventia at the top, steps inside the arc, pulls up from the foul stripe, no good after it rattled off the backboard and rim. Goes out of bounds. Crater basketball with 3:06 to play. Fourth quarter again. Want to thank some of our sponsors, Neilco Real Estate. Check out Neil Company Real Estate at neilco.com for the latest listings around Douglas County. Their agents can help you score the home of your dreams. Again, our broadcast today, video stream brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Also, special thanks to Gibbs RV. You got to get to Gibbs. Smith takes the jab down the right lane, now to the far corner. Three-pointer, off iron and glass, no good. Rebound Luther up the floor with 2:40 to play. Vrabel to the right wing for Luther. Luther to the top. Bentia to the near side. Vrabel inside the arc. Scott hands it right back to Vrabel. To the right wing. Bentia takes a dribble. Right wing, no good. Off shot from Scott. Higginson up the floor for Crater, drops it off, and a wide open Barlow was there to lay it in. Barlow's having an incredible night. That his sixth two-pointer with 3 3-pointers and a free throw. And a whistle on the floor. Foul going to be on Kyle Biddle. That's his third. Looks like a platoon swat for Crater. Several players coming out. Biddle, Smith, and Higginson coming out. Jacoby Cole checks in for the first time with Michael Robinson, as well as Colin Converse. Long three-pointer from Scott. That splashes through. Harrison Scott, second three-pointer. Up to now 10 points in the game. At the top, Robinson traveled. So a turnover, and it's 71-52. So Kimberly and Palm will come into the game. Pretty much the bench players out on the floor for Roseburg as well. Looking like the Tribe are going to fall down to 0-3 to start this young season. Crater looking like they're going to move to 2-0. An impressive team down here in Southern Oregon. Vrabel. That's it to the top. Leeworthy, right elbow, out to the right wing. Kemmerly gives it back to Leeworthy in the far corner. Goes into the paint himself. Airballed a floater. And they're going to say it was tipped by Crater. Jacoby Cole couldn't believe it. It's going to be Roseburg basketball with 1:18 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Far wing. Scott cuts inside the paint, goes up with the left hand, and he's able to bank it in. Harrison Scott up to now 12 points in the game. Him and Bentia have been the scorers for Roseburg tonight. Jacoby Cole down low. The big man banks it in. The bench goes berserk. 54-73. Far wing. Scott dribbles it up to the top. 45 seconds in, counting here in the fourth. Vrabel on the left arc. Tried to bounce pass it down to the paint. Instead, it went all the way to the corner for Scott, who put up a three-pointer. No good. Offensive rebound, Leeworthy. Turnaround, fadeaway, jump shot falls. Jaron Leeworthy. Another two-pointer. Up to 10 points inside the paint, plus 3 free throws. Up to 13 points in the game. And turnover off the toe of Rodriguez. 18.5 on the clock. Wrapping this one up, 73-56 the score. They'll toss it up the floor. Kemmerly puts up a triple, or maybe just a shot inside the arc, no good, and it's rebounded the other way. Here's Barlow. Dribbles it past the timeline, and that's going to do it. Crater's going to win this one. 73-56 the final. It was a 13-point fourth quarter for Crater, and a 15-point fourth quarter for Roseburg. Roseburg was able to win the second half, but Crater winning the game overall, 73-56. Post-game show coming up here on The Score. We'll take a quick 2.5-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
I'm confused by the huge market swings.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Welcome back here to Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Joined alongside Jordan Humphreys, the head coach of the Roseburg Indians. Jordan, you guys didn't come away with the victory once again, but, you guys won the second half. You guys were able to come away in that second half and outscore Crater in that second half. What was kind of the difference between the first half and the second half?
Difference between the first half and the second half. Let me gather my thoughts here real quick. There's lots of reasons why that was. I think we came out with a little bit more energy in the second half, but still, it was obvious that we were tired. To start the game, our guys weren't mentally focused, not running, not everybody on the same page. Some poor turnovers to start the game, and it just kind of took us half the game to get locked in and get to where we should have been to start the game.
Jaron Leeworthy today, 13 points for him. He was able to contribute a little bit. Scored throughout the game. What did you like about him and his play?
He got more aggressive tonight, and that's one of the things we talk about these younger guys as they get more and more varsity minutes. We talk to him about, hey, you got to get more aggressive. We need more points out of you. We need you to attack the rim a little bit more. We need you to be confident in your shot. Guys trust him. They know how well he can shoot the ball and finish around the rim, and he did that more tonight than he has, and that's just that next step of progress for us, developing some more scorers so that it's not just going to rely on one or two guys.
Obviously, losses sucks, but you can also learn from losses a little bit. You've had 3 games to start this season. What have you learned from your team in their first week of basketball?
I learned that we can compete. South Salem is going to be one of the top teams in their league, and we competed with them for 3 quarters, and we got to figure out a way to compete for a whole game. And guys keep getting better. We talked about progress individually, progress as a team, and we had a list of things on the whiteboard before the game, and we talked through each one of things we want to do better. And even though we weren't mentally there for maybe half the game, we still got better at those things that we talked about, but we just took a step backwards in some of those other areas that we didn't talk about.
You guys got Sprague and Newburgh coming up next week. What's next for you guys as you guys prepare for those 2 teams?
A day off. We practiced, played a bunch of days in a row. And our guys need to get a little bit of a rest and kind of have some time away from basketball since I don't know what we've had 9 days in a row, and a little mental break is always good. More isn't always better, and sometimes you need a break, and we'll come back ready to go Monday and have a good practice, be focused. Us coaches will have, watch plenty of film and figure out what we need to work on and develop a practice plan that's going to help us get to where we need to be for Sprague, which is always a tough place to play, and focused on getting better for that game.
Thank you for your time, Coach, and enjoy the day off.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it. That was Coach Jordan Humphreys wrapping up this one here tonight. Crater coming away victorious 73-56, the final here tonight at Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Final numbers, Owen Bentia with 17 points for Roseburg. Jaron Leeworthy with 13 points, those 2 leading the way. Jaden Kimmerly with 2 points. Harrison Scott with an impressive 9 points off the bench here tonight. He started 9 points here tonight. Landon Fanagau, he had 4 points with 4 fouls. Malachi Barlow, let's try to do this quick math real quick. He had a total of 12 points inside the arc and then another 9 points outside. 22 points total for Malachi Barlow. For Kyle Biddle tonight, he had a total of 6 shots inside the arc, 3 outside the arc for 21 points. Also as well. So Barlow and Biddle combining for 21 and 22 points here tonight. Julian Grant, he finished with 8 total points for the Crater Comets. Ben Higginson, he finished with a total of 4 points. Elijah Bryant with a total of 6 points. David Rodriguez with 2 points. Trey Smith with 3 points. And Jacoby Cole, the big man, at the very end, got a total of 2 points. Crater now 2-0 in the season. They'll play Grants Pass coming up on the 10th at 6:45 p.m. Roseburg will be at Sprague next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. On the 10th, we'll have the call for that one. I'll be making the trip up to Salem for that one. 6:30 start. 6:15 pregame right here on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Special thanks to Beverly once again for helping up on the broadcast tonight, helping us with the camera this evening. 73-56, the final here tonight from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Roseburg falls to 0-3 on the season. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Special thanks to everybody that made this broadcast possible. Special thanks to Jordan Humphreys. Special thanks to Beverly once again, to our producer back in studio, Grady Hamilton. I'm Nat Jarecki saying so long from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Roseburg falls 73-56 here on 541radio.com and the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.